Okay. Hello and welcome everyone to this week's live, the week starting 4th of May. I am your Cosmic Soul Whisperer, your Cosmic Akashic Guide, Samriddhi Purohit. And this week, we're going to get into the energies of what's happening this week and what is to come, what are the things that we can do, and what are the things we can expect as we navigate through the energies of this week. And we'll also get some guidance and tips from our Akashic guides to see what we can do so that we can navigate through these energies with more peace, with more grace, with more love. So you can see my messy table on the side. I promise I'm going to work on it. I just got some printer stuff. So these are some new print sheets. So anyway, so as we enter this week, there are a couple of things that are happening. We had a really, really deep experience with Buddha Purnima on the 1st of May, which was Friday. And a lot of the energies have been around the mind field, around things that are in our mind, and we've been holding on to a lot of overthinking, a lot of thoughts, over analyzing, and it's interesting that all my sessions the last week, including the one day before yesterday, they've all yesterday I took a break, so until day before yesterday, everything has been around mental processing, and the guidance has all been around don't to stop and assist people from not overthinking, over processing, over analyzing. That kind of energy is really up at this point in the energy field, in the collective energy. Hello and welcome to everyone who's joined. So welcome Tanya and welcome Nimisha, so lovely to see you here. So, as we are navigating through these energies, let's bring in some of these reflections that have come through, any dreams that I have had, and symbols that are here for us in the collective. Something very interesting happened. If you've been following me and following my akashic journeys with yourself for a while, you may notice that I always wear this big, huge turquoise ring. This is something that was given to me by my guides. I mean, I was guided to go at a certain point and at a certain shop, for my ancestral healing. This happened about 3.5 years ago, that time. And I was just resisting that so much because it felt so random. I was just sitting and watching Star Trek or something. And suddenly I got this guidance 3.5 years ago: go to this particular shop right now. And I wasn't told whether I'm going to meet somebody there or I need to buy some crystal. It was a crystal shop, or what this was all about. I had no idea. So I just followed the guidance and I just went to the store. This is the fun part about receiving guidance, that you don't, and if I went there and nothing happened, it was totally okay. So I was completely prepared for that, and I was just going to follow the guidance and see what happened. So I just went down to this particular crystal shop at this exact time I was told to go, and nothing happened because I was expecting something to happen. And then suddenly I said, okay, while I'm here anyway, why not buy myself something? And then my eyes fell on this particular bluish, greenish, rich turquoise, and it had some other crystals mixed with it as well within that, and it looked really beautiful. It was just something that I needed to wear. I needed to have immediately. I had that feeling, and it was also very beautiful. So I went up to the lady at the store and I said, "Can you tell me what this turquoise is about? Because I know it's got some mixed crystals within it." And she said, "Well, this is a turquoise mixed with pyrite, a very grounding crystal, and it is also bringing heaven on earth. It's bringing the starry side and the earthy side back right in the middle, in the heart space. It's good for balance. It's also good for your intuitive work. And the pyrite within it is bringing you some really solid grounding." And then she looked at me and she said, "Are you a healer?" I'm like, "I don't know if I can call myself that. I do some healings on the side, but I do have a full time job and I have a very busy time with my full-time job. But I do love to get into this healing practice and assist people, but I'm not like really fully into healing just yet. Who knew what was to happen? Well, I was doing healings every week, but it was not something I would identify myself with in public. So she said, "All right, this one is coming for you." And when she gave it to me, she had a vision, and and she was just a very lovely soul and a very powerful channel herself. When she was in the store, just she was selling crystals, but she really was able. And there's nothing called just selling crystals, of course. That's a very profound experience. She was matching high allotment mentifix and scarlet. Welcome. So she was tuning in, and she saw this vision that my masculine and paternal lineage and my it's interesting, I'm doing it the other way. My paternal and my maternal lineage, they were coming together and meeting me and all that emotional processing for me was happening in my sacral chakra. And as that was coming together, this particular crystal I was buying was going to assist me with that. And I said, wow, that was beautiful. And the way she was saying it, I could really feel the energy shifting. So I took that crystal and I wore it almost every single day. I say almost every single day because there were some days I would just keep it on my charging table. This is my selenite charging table, and it's got this beautiful flower of life. So I keep my crystals on it to get charged from time to time. So I would keep this charged overnight and I would wear it in the morning. Or if I forgot to wear it, during a session, the crystal itself would intuitively call for me to put itself on me, and then I would just continue the session. Many of you who had sessions with me, you might have noticed I would say, "Oh, I need to bring my ancestral healing crystal." I would go and pick that up and wear it. So that was the whole story of this crystal, and it has done tremendous amount of work for me. In fact, I was even just sharing with my mother today while we were having a cup of tea that there was a situation where I was put in a I was invited in a kind of a space where I had to share a few. I wanted to share a few things about galactic Akashic records, star seeds, and different gifts that are coming from different lineages, and what ceremonies you can do as or mini rituals you can do with yourself to connect with your star lineage and things like that. And during that time, and in and around some similar events like that, talking events like that, I did find there were a lot of restrictive energies. There were a lot of people that uh, kids told me that they were coming to receive my sharings, but they were actually not not I mean the energies were, there was some kind of an energetic mismatch. That's all I can say. Because there was probably some criticism that I needed. There was also some misalignment in what they wanted and what I was giving them. They said I was a little bit too high level. I needed to be more practical or grounded. But I was like, there's nothing grounding more than your star lineages coming and assisting you. So it was something was a little bit of a mismatch, but I just asked my guides to assist me, and it was just going on. But I did fall a little bit, actually very sick after that. And when I felt really sick, I really almost came to the brink of tears. And I remember being in this really close room space, and I just lit a candle and I asked my guides, why did you call me here? When you invite me into some place, you're always guiding me, whether it's a radio show, whether it's a podcast, whether it's some kind of a small group or a large group. I know that you always have a plan for me. That's why you call me there. And there is some kind of a healing that takes place. There's so much joy and expansion within that. But here I feel like I'm just being I'm just surrounded by walls everywhere. I don't feel very much like I'm at the right time and the right place with the right people. Maybe they don't need me, and maybe I need a different experience to experience joy and celebration in this. And suddenly, and I was wearing my ring at that time, and suddenly what happened was I came out of this room and this prayer space, and I suddenly noticed that all those people that had a mismatch with me and I had a mismatch with them, they just left my field immediately. And over the next couple of days, even more leaving in from my field started to happen. And they also felt like they were being punished or something had happened, and I never said anything. It was just like they just left. And so I think that they were happy and I was happy. Although I don't like to experience wisdom through disharmony, because ultimately that has to complete its breath and loop so that everything can become balanced. So that this was a learning experience for me, and there were certain things that I needed to do and learn so that the next time I can hold a better space and more expansive space for even more different perspectives. But yeah, if I can choose, I also want to always choose to work with and play with people that um, uh, allow me to see their light, and they are also able to see my light as well. Through my shadows, they also see something that's positive that they can take home for themselves. And then I was like, what was that? Can you please explain it to me? I asked my guides, and I was sharing this with my mother in the morning, that my guides told me that actually your ancestors came in. Hi, Kama. So as I said, what do you mean? And they said your mother's side, your maternal ancestry, they have been the ones that have always assisted. They've given you the genetic pool to keep your third eye open and work with your third eye. And they were here to assist you to keep that open and not be afraid. So the only way for you to not be afraid and hold the frequencies and do the work that you were asked to do was for a change of place and movement, so that it could be more aligned. So they did it for me, and they did it in a very beautiful way. There was no pain caused to anyone, and it was just a very clean realignment, a reshuffling of sorts. So that was the first time I realized the power of our ancestors as they come here to protect us. I also heard words from them saying, somebody is trying to hurt our daughter, so we are here to protect her. And they had this real protective energy, and I felt, I was kind of telling them, please don't punish anybody. I'm not perfect, nobody is perfect, but yes, I would really love for you to be my guardians. And they said we won't hurt anyone, but we do feel a protective emotion when you are affected by things, and we want you to be clear in your channel. That's why we are realigning this with love and with strength. And they came with this strength that was almost even scary for me, because that reshuffling happened instantly. So that was a very, very powerful energy. And that was the first time in my life I came to know that my ancestors are walking with me, as as your ancestors are walking with you. And we don't give them much credit. We kind of like, they get the bad rep that, oh, this is an ancestral trauma. But we don't talk about the ancestral blessings that come our way and the gifts that they bring to us. And this is a story of blessings that my ancestors have been giving me. And the story is being shared so that you know that your ancestors, if you're tuning into this, your ancestors are really working with you too. So, why am I telling you this whole story today? Going back to the ring. On Sunday, I was out with my family, and we were coming back from whatever dinner we'd gone out for. When we were coming back, I just paused to, so I had to just tie my sandal band a little bit tightly. So I just stopped and I tried to tie it, and as soon as I did that, my ring's crystal fell off, and I instantly knew this was the turquoise crystal that I always wear, this ancestral healing crystal. The silver remained on my finger, and the crystal just fell off. Um, I felt this real completion happen in that moment, that the work of this crystal in my life and in the life of my clients for now is complete. I picked the crystal and I looked at it and I thanked it. It was an emotional moment for me. And as I thanked the crystal, I said, okay, I'm going to keep you with me, but I've understood that our work together is done, at least for a while. So that also was very interesting, because the last 3 months, um, maybe except one or two, all my sessions with clients have had some element of ancestral healing within it. And it looks like that has turned the page. There may be ancestral healing, but there's also ancestral blessing coming, because that part of healing is completing and transmuting into blessings now. So that was a very significant thing that happened on Sunday, which is yesterday, and so it really opens the week into a new energy of ancestral blessings. So that's one very powerful energy that is coming through. There's nothing that you need to do except for connect and trust your ancestors to take care of you, and you bring in the highest levels of love and light into this. So when you are fully aligned, you pray, you create your column of light or your light egg, however you learn to guard and balance your energies. And then when you invite ancestral blessings, they come in from the highest dimensions possible. And when you allow that to happen, things just work out. Things just start to open in your life one way after another after another. So many miracles have happened in my life over the last 1 week, actually 1 to 2 weeks, that I am just absolutely mind blown. So there was somebody that I used to watch on TV, and I was just fascinated by her work. And um, to be on a call with her where she's kind of, she knows me and she's complimented my work, was very big for me. Again, this is not about ego, it was just about my ancestors supporting me to bring those experiences into my life that make me feel seen, valued, and respected by people that I respect. And this is something that is coming into your field today as well, because I've noticed that when we are all working together, if one thing changes, everyone is also moving in that direction, and some kind of an experience is happening in your field too, which is like that. So there may be something that is miraculous, you never even imagined or asked for it, but somebody you respect and admire, you may find that you're starting to earn their respect as you continue to be true to your path. So that was another message coming in for this week. Now let's. There's also another third thing that's carrying forward into this week, and that is the energy of Buddha. So the energy of Buddha, because this whole month started, the 1st of May started off with Buddha Purnima, the flower moon, and this was full moon in Scorpio, and this was also a day that celebrates every year the birth, the enlightenment, and the passing away of Gautam Buddha. And so that's why there is also this energy of balance coming in, energy of balancing the mental functions, and anything that is related to mental health or experience that are paining your mind. This is coming in to balance that energy. So you can look at my YouTube channel, and monthly meditations playlist, and the topmost one on that is the one for May, which is about Buddha and the Akashic records. So there is something about nothingness there, which is really profound, and that's an overarching energy this month. And so it of course affects this week really profoundly. So there is, I've been working with a pendulum. So I'll just bring in my pendulum to show that to you. Give me a moment. So this pendulum came into my life 2 weeks ago, but I've only started working with it since last week, more deeply. And so this pendulum came into the meditation as well, but it came in through balancing of extremes. So that was quite a profound journey. I'll invite you to go and do that meditation. It's, I think, a 42-minute meditation. So just allow yourself to immerse in the energies of this month with Buddha's energy, and how he looks at the Akashic records is very different. Less story, more concept, because he is less about karmic. He's risen above that into the soul level, where he brings in the soul wisdom. So instead of going through the whole life experience to remember what happened, this energy is about giving you the crystallized version of that lesson, so that you can use that lesson further on in your journey. So, yeah, instead of going through the whole trip, you just get to know the moral of the story right away. And that's your code to understand what you need for your next step. That's the energy coming in this week. There's a crystallized energy, crystallized message that you will get. and allow that message to be your guide. And it may be simple and short, and yet it would be the most powerful thing you can do to trust and allow that message to work through you. So these are some of the things that I wanted to share as a precursor to what is happening today. So let's go straight into our meditation. I'm just going to tune in and see what vision is coming through from the collective Akash. And through that, I'll also bring through some light language activations and channeled messages to assist with whatever you may be navigating this week so that you can have the most highest aligned experience. And this allows you to bring in and step into your highest timelines as well and be fully aligned with your Akashic, highest Akashic realms. All right, so I'm just going to sip some tea. So before I tune in, I would invite all who have joined on Instagram and YouTube to leave in comments, whether you're joining live or you're listening to the recording later on YouTube. Please feel free to leave a comment and share with me how your week has been. What are the energies, or what are the energies you're working with? And you can also leave some divine intentions you have for this week. There's a very spiritual energy, there's a very spiritual flavor to this week where everything is very soul based, very very aligned. So anything that is coming up for you, please, you're very welcome to share. So whether it be what is your experience of previous week, or what is the intention for next week, or what is that emotion that you're working with, any of these that talk to you, you can leave in comments and I will reply to all comments. All right. So as we go in, and I will continue to read your messages if there is some intention that you left for this meditation. And as I'm tuning in, I'm actually seeing a beautiful combination of colors emerging. Now, this combination of colors is like water paints. All right, I'm reading. I'm feeling a bit lost and very emotional. Oh, I can feel that. Okay. And then there's another message. It says, I've been on a roller coaster of emotions. Okay. All right. So there is definitely the full moon, and the full moon brings up a lot of our blood, a lot of our body fluids, our water element up towards the brain. Our brain is very active. We have so much in our mind, so much in our brain, and it can bring up a lot of old patterns, repeating patterns. It can bring up all the pain, trauma to be released into light and be blessed by the full moon. So, yeah, bringing in that energy now. I'm also reading another one. I am open to what comes next, feeling hopeful. All right, beautiful. Now, I also want to share that when we come from a space of hope, there's there's something that is difficult, and then you're looking at the best possible outcome, even though you don't have an evidence. Now, even a higher version of hope would be faith. So, and you were feeling very okay. There's one more message. There was a lot of anger experienced yesterday for this person. All right, so we'll bring that in as well. And anger is not a bad energy. It's actually a very good indicator of many things. Hi, many things. Hi, Asha. All right. So as I'm seeing this vision, I see a wall, and this wall has a lot of watercolor paints on it. Watercolor paints came out in one of my sessions last week as well. So there's something interesting going on with the element of water, which is, of course, the element of emotions within us. So looking at your emotional body, what's happening there? There are lots of colors that are mixing with each other. They are blending and moving with each other. Now I see some blues, I see some oranges, and I see some at the bottom. I see some yellows. All right. So we're bringing in these colors, and each of these colors has a symbolic meaning. There's one more message that has come in. I feel that I'm feeling that I'm about to open a treasure chest. How beautiful! How beautiful! This is also building on the other person sharing that she's feeling hopeful. So this is even an exalted version of that, where you are hopeful. You're in anticipatory reception mode from the universe. I love that. So let's look at this wall and these emotions that are coming up. The blue is bringing up deep seated emotions, thoughts. Now, when the blue is not balanced, there is a lot of overthinking, over analysis, perfectionism. being very, very particular about how you want things to go. Now, for me, this blue has been coming up in my relationship with this pendulum. Hi, Subjeet. So what's happening with my pendulum is the pendulum wants to go a certain way to say yes and a certain way to say no, and I'm forcing the pendulum to go my way. I'm telling it no, I want yes this way and no this way, and then I've had to really just reset myself. That's been something that has been happening. So if it is happening in your world where you want things to respond to you in a certain way, but the other things or people around you are trying to respond in a completely different way, this may be an opportunity to pause and find a way that is a win-win for both. Find a middle ground for both. And again, because of the theme of Buddha this month, there is also the theme of the middle path, the balance, because Buddha never asked you to go one extreme or another. It's also a very some of these thoughts and ideals are very similar and very aligned with stoicism, where you're always still taking the middle path. You're taking the more grounded, balanced approach, rather than go one extreme or another. And when I am not feeling okay, when I'm feeling a little bit adrift, and not fully connected to my life force energy and joy, I listen to or I read a lot of these stoicism quotes. They really allow me to be and sit in a place of balance. I'll leave one of my favorite videos that I watch on YouTube in the description of this YouTube video, so that if that helps you, you can go there too. It's a really beautiful poem, and it really helps me just come back. Just listening to a piece of poetry can open your heart. So there's that part that really affects and connects with me. So that's also coming through. Now, what I'm seeing is on this ball of emotions, this blue area, this overthinking area, is slowly and steadily, with the support of ancestors and asking for their blessings. And remember, your ancestors are even like your ancestors start from your parents and above. So it's also the higher selves and the higher, more evolved version of your parents as well that step in when these things happen. And many times, many people may not have the best relationship with their parents on in the physical moment and on physical earth life, but when they come in from in the Akashic realm, they always come in from the higher perspective, from the higher intention, the divine intention of why you chose them to be your parents and how they chose you to be their offspring. And it comes in with a very beautiful, supportive connection. So there is that healing, the parental healing aspect is coming in as well, and all the ancestors before them. And remember, you and I wouldn't be here if our ancestors didn't decide to give birth to their children, their children, their children, and then we were born. And so there is definitely an acknowledgement of the birthing process. There's an acknowledgement and appreciation for choosing to raise these ancestors by their ancestors. So it really goes a long line. And even if one chain was missing, you and I would not be here. So it is really that acknowledgement of the whole chain going back thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And that energy is coming in. And that energy is now coming in and transmuting this blue, watery paint on the wall and making it purple, indigo, and then violet. So there's a deep healing that is occurring. Things that are becoming gross to subtle, like the book that I'm reading by a friend who wrote it, Deepika. She's joined some of our lives as well. So it's a book of poems. It's just really beautiful. So I highly recommend that. So there's a very subtle aspect, there's a movement, there's a purification happening, and it has almost a poetic quality to it. It's like this child who was bullied at school, they're showing me, and now a full gang of his family have come in to take care of this child. That's how you will feel if you allow your ancestral blessings to work with you. So they come in to take care of you and balance you in that way. So this is that invitation. And welcome to everyone who's joining. So as this balance is taking place and this blue thing on the wall is transmuting into purple, indigo, and then violet, there's also other colors that are changing and morphing their form. So we saw the other colors, orange and yellow. Now, the orange and yellow are interesting colors because there's a lot of sacral energy and solar plexus energy. So there is a lot about understanding the value of your personal power, and there's a lot of movement with who you are becoming in your solar plexus and your manifestation chakra, the higher solar plexus, and your sacral energy, your creative force of how you're giving birth to new projects, or even thinking of physical birth, and things are getting easier in that as well. So there's all that balancing occurring with that. Now, overall, what this is doing is we are being taken care of and guided through the energy of our ascended master Buddha. So he is coming through this month. There's also this energy from Arcturian guides coming in. They have become very, very strong in my field the last couple of weeks. And as I'm studying a few things and deepening my craft, they are here to support and teach. And Arcturian guides may be coming for you as well. And the way you will feel that in your field is deep insights happening, deep life reviews happening to allow you to make choices that are balanced, that understand your value and power as an aspect of the divine, and also be able to understand the value and power of others in balance. So, not giving too much to others without giving to yourself, and vice versa. Now, the Arcturians are also very connected with crystalline energy. So I'm seeing that as this being in this vision is climbing this wall and reaches the other side, it was seemingly impossible to climb this wall, but they are able to climb it, and they move to the other side. And as you're moving to the other side, I see a plateau. Now, this is an interesting one. It reminds me of Grand Canyon. So, a few years ago, I had the chance to visit Grand Canyon, and they showed me this plateauy place. There was this beautiful Native American guide, and he showed my friend and I this beautiful plateauy place where his ancestors from 13 generations have lived, and they fought the Spaniards, and they uh, they still live there. There are so many families that still live on that plateau rock. From below, it just looks very unseemingly just a piece of rock, but for them it is a plateau. And this was also very similar to what I saw a few years ago in Uluru, the rock Uluru or Uluru, however you pronounce it. You know what I'm talking about. So this beautiful rock that is believed to have come straight from Pleiades, and is now sitting on our planet and holding these high portals and frequencies for us in from Australia. This plateau is also a place where the ancestors lived, and some of them still live there today, and bringing in that energy. So after climbing here and going on this plateau, there's this real connection with ancestral energy, not just from your lineage of this lifetime, but of the ancestors of our planet, the great beings that have known the plan of what human beings were meant to be, and they are guiding and helping us to go back to the original plan so that we can live our life in a way that is aligned with the original plan of what we were meant to do here. So there is a deep healing and guidance occurring in this. So we may be listening to our spirit guides. You may be listening to your ancestral wisdom. Hi, Kinney. You may be listening to so many things that are happening in your field. Now, you may be confused. Which one is my guide? Which one is my ancestor? Who is coming? I want to know. It's not important as long as you just feel, internally reflect, and once it resonates, you follow it. That is beautiful. So allow whatever messages are coming in to come in, and remember that everything that you're being guided to do may not be needed to get done today, but it's something that is really being fed into your system so that you can align with it at the right place and the right time, and know that they are here and surrounding and supporting you. Now I'm going to bring through some. So there are some the obstruction energy today for this week is definitely mind energy. There can also be some ancestral trauma or ancestrally passed on things that are now needing to be released. And your ancestors will also help you with that because they want to heal themselves and they want to heal this part in you so that it doesn't affect your life as well. So there is a healing occurring in the ancestral area. There's also a healing occurring in the mind area. So if you're somebody who has a very busy mind, you always need structure, or you're always thinking of something, and you're probably spending a lot of your time in ruminating, thinking of all possible options, thinking of all possible ways things can go wrong, or and trying to counteract that, trying to be as critical as possible of yourself so that you can work on yourself. Now a balance is occurring because yes, some of that is needed. Planning helps you make your work easier. At the same time, it's not always necessary to be hard on yourself. Imagine if you were your own parent. Would you like it if you were only scolding yourself? Then the things that you tell yourself, they would be actually they would actually cause long term harm if you were treating yourself like that on a regular basis. So there is a healing around that as well. Reparenting within yourself. This has nothing to do with your parents even. This is because now you're an adult. You can reparent yourself. So allow this inner child to really be held and not be criticized that much. Give your inner child a little bit of love instead of giving it more criticism. Yes, we do need to give a very balanced approach to ourselves. Otherwise, we can either be and we might be there may be a danger for us to be encouraged to do something that's misaligned for a bit longer than it should be. So or longer than is bearable for your life. So this is that realignment coming back. Now, the end of this vision is that you are now not in the middle, surrounded by your ancestors, but you are now a part of the circle that you're holding hands with all the people in this circle that are a part of your ancestral community. Now, ancestral community is including your maternal and paternal lineages in this lifetime, other lifetimes, your star lineages coming in, Arcturians, Pleiadians, Syrians. Some are also coming from Venus, and there's a lot of healing from Lyra occurring. So all of these beautiful divine beings are coming from different planets and star systems to support you this week. And if you allow from there on, whenever and however you need them. So I'm now going to bring through some healing and light language activation to assist the smooth navigation through this week, especially through the obstacles, and to be able to make the best of the good things that are gifted to you this week. Yana Surunu Shukula, Hiana Sahana Shahatakara Sana. I'm bringing through this language. It's called light language. It's the language of vibrations. If you're new here, just allow yourself to receive the vibrational medicine by listening to this with your heart, not your conscious mind. Yana solushana sikana tukara saha shaha. Yalana tukurasa. Yana luna sura sunasa. Emotional healing is occurring this week with the element of water. So, when you feel like your emotions are a bit out of balance and you need support, a good bath, a good hot shower. I'm not a one for cold shower, but I've been told that it's very healthy. So if that's your jam, then go for a cold shower. I like my hot showers. I like my hot baths. They really calm me and realign me. So the water element is really here. It's also about drinking lots of water and allowing rich water element balancing within you, because that carries your emotions. So healing through water is occurring. Yana Shulana, any emotional pain you may be feeling, allow it to be balanced through water energy. Even energetically, ask the element of water to work through you. And the way to utilize water is by even the water that you drink, allow it to be a sacred experience. Drop some crystals in a big container and collect some water. Keep these crystals and ask these crystals to charge your water. And if you don't want to do all of that infrastructure, simply take a glass of water, look at the water, and say, "Hey, please balance my emotions. Please help me feel aligned." And then you drink that water, because your water is mirroring your emotions. And so it will help in amplifying, especially if you're amplifying the good stuff. So Scarlett is saying, it's raining heavily, and I knew that the spirit of water was present. I love what you just said. Oh, that's amazing. That what a beautiful sign. And actually, that reminds me, there was a bit of rain even today in Sydney, and it's been very cloudy. So yes, absolutely. The element of water is coming to here to clear and clean and balance us so that we can see cleanly, and there's a freshness that is coming through our emotional bodies. Yanashula Nasurahana Takana Shuna Salahana Sha. There's also an invitation to take care of your feet, your knees, your ankles this week. Nasalashunukura Nasulunoshu. For when you connect with your ancestors, you're connecting with your roots, and the roots in your physical body are represented with your lower body. Nasalashunu nasura takura nasha. So when you take care of any aches and pains, yes, even hips, when you take care of any aches and pains in your lower body, you're also allowing the healing occurring for your ancestors, and you're also allowing ancestral healing and blessing into your world. And as you heal yourself, you heal everyone in the circle. Nasala shunu suruno sha anasara nasha. So if you already have it, that's great. If not, I will highly recommend you buy one. There are beautiful magnesium oil sprays that come in. So you can just spray a bit of magnesium oil on your feet or put some lavender oil on your feet. That can allow for a beautiful balancing and reorganizing of your root system. And if you've not been feeling grounded, it can allow for that grounding to occur for you so that it can give you the support, the foundational balance for the things to come. Because there is expansion coming in the coming weeks. And I think even the last week, it was more like a preparation energy for all the expansions to come in. So as the expansions are coming in, you can go and run and chase expansions as they come, and then do a permutation and just go random with everything and see how it goes. Or you can plan and build your foundation. This is about building that foundation. Yana Sulana Shukura Salana. And at the end, our Arcturian guides are coming in, and they are bringing us this vibration of indigo. Nasalashu Nusuruno Shalana Tukuno Shunasa. It's like a beautiful liquid indigo light is dropping from the third eye, and it's coming into your energy field. It's opening new things with clarity. Yalanasha, and the richness of layers and nuances that can help you with perspectives and that can help you help others with perspectives. Nasa la nashuru nasa. And you are so loved, and this week is this foundational and healing work with your ancestors. We love you so, and we are now complete. Yana sala nashura. The records are now closed. Amen. So, this was the energy for this week. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you found some of it useful, and hopefully assisting you for how you navigate through the energies of this week. Wherever you are, I hope that by the end of the week you find yourself in a better and a more powerful place than now. And for those of you who would like to go on a personal one-on-one journey with me, I do personal one-on-one Akashic sessions. I keep limited slots per week, so you can find that the links in the description of this YouTube video or link in my bio on Instagram. And you're so welcome to come and join me there. And apart from that, if you do feel any energies are shifting and moving through you, don't hesitate to leave them on in comments, and I will reply to all comments. And I will see you next week. So much love to you, and have a beautiful week. Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone.